I stopped giving my boyfriend what he wanted in bed because he refused to return the favor. My boyfriend Jake and I have been together for 8 months now. He's sweet most of the time, brings me coffee when I'm studying, remembers little things like my favorite snacks, but there's this one issue that's been driving me crazy. Every time we get intimate, he always asks for the same thing, and I never had a problem with it because I wanted to make him happy. I'd do whatever he wanted without complaining because that's what you do when you love someone, right? But here's the thing that started bothering me. Whenever I'd even hint about wanting him to do something for me, his whole attitude would change. Like, I'd bring it up casually and he'd get this disgusted look on his face like I just asked him to eat garbage. The first time it happened, I thought maybe he just didn't hear me right. So I tried again a few days later, being more direct about what I wanted. Jake immediately changed the subject and started talking about his work schedule. I started paying attention to his reactions, and it was the same thing every time. The second I mentioned anything about him returning the favor, he'd either make an excuse to leave the room or suddenly remember something urgent he had to do. It felt so one-sided and unfair. Like, I was always willing to make him happy, but he couldn't even have a conversation about making me happy. I started feeling used and honestly pretty hurt by his attitude. Last week, I decided to test something. When Jake started hinting around like he usually does, I told him I wanted to talk first. I said if we're going to do this, it should be equal for both of us. His face immediately scrunched up like I'd said something gross. He goes, "Can we not talk about that? It's weird." Then he tried to change the subject back to what he wanted. That's when I finally lost it. I told him if he was going to act like a child every time I brought up my needs, then he wasn't getting anything from me either. Fair is fair. Jake got all defensive and said I was being dramatic. He tried to argue that what he wanted was different somehow, but couldn't explain why. When I asked him to actually give me a real reason, he just got frustrated and left. We haven't talked about it since, and he's been acting weird around me. Not mean or anything, but like he's waiting for me to change my mind and go back to the old arrangement. But I'm not backing down this time. The thing that really bothers me is that I found out he's done this with other girlfriends too. His friend mentioned something about Jake being picky, and it made me wonder if I'm just another girl he's using for what he wants. I love Jake, but I can't keep being in a relationship where only one person's needs matter. Either we figure this out like adults, or we don't figure it out at all. He texted me yesterday asking if we could go back to normal, but still won't actually discuss the real issue.